Hello, everybody. It's Jason.
And it's Marnie. And today it's Wednesday. We're like trying to confuse you all because look who's here. It's Elder Kathy and it's Wednesday. We get to see her a day before we usually see her. Welcome.
Welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for welcoming me on Wednesday.
We'd welcome you any day. Wouldn't matter what day. We would just be thrilled to see you.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's Wednesday, I'm sitting in front of a different wall. So I
Notice
can
that?
do different things in my house today. It's really just like I'm looking at the wall that you normally look at. And this is the
Oh,
wall that's normally behind you.
You've just
you're looking
turned
at your
yourself
picture.
around.
I just turned myself to the other side of the table.
Sometimes it's nice. It's a different perspective, right?
Yeah, I wanted to change it up. I looked outside and I thought, well, maybe I could come outside, but I'd need a long cord and it's pretty windy out there.
Very windy.
It's very windy. I was listening to the wind blow and I'm thinking, it looks so nice out, but then whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah.
And now that my hair's so long, that's a problem outside being in the wind.
Yeah. It would be
Well,
blowing in all different directions.
it would be. And that's what happened when I came in. My hair was kind of flowing up a little bit right here. So
Yeah.
today, the first day in a long time, I have on hairspray.
So you've been taking care of yourself?
Well, I've been busier the last couple of days. Sometimes I'm not that busy. I kind of just sit around and do nothing because I'm just not feeling it. But then the last couple of days I've been busier and feeling pretty good about that. I feel a little guilty because Tim, he is busy constantly,
Really?
always doing something. He bought a bunch of plants and he's planting his plants and he's taking care of his plants and he's cleaning out the gutters and he's just got all kinds of jobs he's doing.
So you get to watch them,
Yeah, I just
Supervise.
supervise them.
when he was on the ladder, I said, well, I better go just in case he falls off the ladder. I should be out there. So I went outside and I took my phone in case I needed to call the ambulance.
Well, that was a very important job. So, see, you've got lots of things on the go.
Well,
And it's okay if you don't, right? Like, I think it's okay to not be busy. And I think we need to not compare ourselves to others. Like, sometimes people are doing different things and need different things, and that's okay.
Mhm, mhm.
oh yeah, definitely. That's
You
how
know,
it's been for me. Some days I'm busy and I get things done and I feel good about it. And some days I watch TV and I try to remind myself, it's okay to have those days where I just am sitting around.
Absolutely.
are you watching a lot of the news?
I did watch a lot of news. I saw a story on the news that I thought was really uh, like it was so touching to me. I was kind of surprised because there was a man in Kansas. He's a farmer, and he heard about what was happening in New York City, where they have lots and lots and lots of cases of COVID-19, and even the doctors and nurses don't have enough of the equipment they need to protect themselves, and so he had some of those masks and he felt like he wasn't going to need all the ones he had, and so he took a little bit of his masks that he had and he mailed them to New York to the governor. And the governor is the person who's on the news every day and talks about it. So I mailed them to the governor. The governor received his letter of encouragement and he received the mask and he was thanking him for doing that. And I was just like, that's so thoughtful and it's so nice. And it just was like so touching. I almost started to cry. I was so grateful that people are trying to help each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extending kindness to one another right now, I think is so important, right? And you talk about that gesture of somebody giving somebody else something that they need, that are hard to come by, right? Like those masks are very difficult to obtain. And he had some and he sent it. And I think to me, it just I mean, that gives me just so much like warmth as well, like what you're saying. It makes you feel good when you hear of those stories. But I think we have to all really remember the power of the contribution each of us can make, right? Those things that we can do that we might think are small or insignificant, but if we all did those things and extended kindness and help to each other, what a powerful, huge impact that would have overall if everybody did something kind.
You know, I was out at the grocery store the other day, and I was really sort of for some reason I was aware. I'm usually not aware in a grocery store, but I was pretty aware, and you could you noticed people, some people would stop, they'd let you go by. You know, some people would wait behind you until you were done, you know, down your aisle, and then they would move on with you. And then there were other people that would just weave in and out and cut, and you really notice the difference between those people, and how much safer I felt when a person was respecting my space and waiting for me to be done. And that helped me to realize that, Jason, you need to respect other people's space too. And you know, that elderly gentleman in front of you that's taking a long time to decide what kind of soup, that's okay. That's okay. You know, that extra 30 seconds of my life is not going to affect me at all, but it could affect him greatly. So sit back and relax. So I think you're right. We can't underestimate our little acts of kindness and how important they are.
I think that the acts of kindness really are a way for us to exercise our hearts right now. We can't hug people, can't see all the people that we want to see, but we can treat the people that we do see, even if they're strangers, even if we don't know them. We can treat them with kindness. And like you said, Jason, patience. I noticed that too in the grocery store. I noticed that some people just rush past you, and when they come too close, now it feels a little scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so when everybody's staying a little bit apart and kind of waiting, then it just makes it nicer. It makes it more comfortable for everyone. When the guy sent the masks, I was thinking, you know, he knew that they needed those masks and in New York, and he knew because the governor was saying, you know, we're starting to run out of this PPE, we need to get more. And he wasn't saying it in a way of somebody give us some. He was just talking about this is the reality of their situation. And then that person stepped forward, and probably there's other people too that are doing the same thing. So sometimes too, for us to know how can we help, it helps us if somebody will say, you know, well, I need this, or I need that, or I'm just about out of paper towels, or you know, just any little thing that could be helpful to different people. We want to know, because maybe there is a way that somebody can help.
Well,
and I
go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, I think we need to not underestimate the power of extending that kindness. Like, sometimes we don't realize it's like the littlest things that we can do, or gestures of, you know, whether it's words or things or whatever, but that it makes a huge impact to somebody else. So I think we need to always be aware of, you know, we may think, oh, if I did that, it wouldn't make a difference, but it makes a huge difference. And if everybody extends themselves, you know, through kindness. I love when you said exercise your heart. I think if we were all doing that and aware of that, just like we need to be aware of washing our hands and wearing our masks and being physically distant, but if we can be aware of our hearts, and like you said, whether it's a stranger or whether it's somebody you know, it's just that has a huge impact overall.
Yeah, you know, I started thinking, we were talking earlier this morning in a meeting about some of the food issues that people are struggling with, and I think there's been a fairly decent response, you know, providing people with availability of some food items through the food banks doing a good job, Salvation Army's doing a good job, CHEP's doing a good job, but the worry is how long is that sustainable, right? And you know, in July and in August, are people still going to have access to those resources, which is not that far, you know, that's not that far away. And I was sort of thinking, you know, the CHEP, I know CHEP has a program where you can buy a monthly box or a weekly box for people. And I was thinking, you know what, that's not, maybe I should donate a box. You know, I do like to donate money and I feel good, but maybe I can afford to go a little extra because this time is a little extra too, right? Not because I need to exercise my heart. I think I love that too.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I always love what you say, Kathy. You always say it in such a way that just is so, it resonates with me so much. And I take that away, you know, after our conversation, and you just have such a way with words.
Mm-hmm.
I have to give credit to Elder Tim because sometimes, a lot of the time, when we used to travel a lot, we'd be in the car and he bought this car. It was a good size, a nice car, but it had no radio. And so then when we were traveling, we're just sitting there silently. So we started talking and we kept talking, and these are the kinds of things we talk about. How can we do this? Why is this other thing happening? What did you think about this thing that we saw on the news? And we would just talk it out. And sometimes when you first say things, it's not good, right? It's that's a stupid idea, or maybe you don't understand it enough. And as two people talk about it and talk about it more, you start to refine your ideas, and you start to really learn how to, well, dig in and think about, well, what is it that I mean? What is it that I feel? And you put all those ideas together, the more you talk and visit about it. And that's one of the things we're also missing right now is we're not in the classroom talking and visiting. We're not with the people that we normally would be with talking and visiting. And so maybe our ideas too are getting a little bit stagnant, and we need to practice that a little bit more. So I'm glad you have this program where people can jump in and they can talk about things and they can listen, they can hear, and they can share their ideas too.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That's right. So, random acts of kindness, exercising your heart with kindness to other people. And I don't, they don't have to be random acts of kindness, right? We need to be,
Right. They may not even know.
yeah, exactly. And we need to just do it, right? They
If
should.
we could all just deliberately, you know, and just like really focus on kindness, extending kindness through our words, through our actions, I think that would have tremendous, you know, effect on everybody. I think if everybody did that.
Healing, right? Healing. Awesome. Okay, thank you again for joining us this week.
Wednesday, like, you know, and it's because Kathy has important things to do on Thursday, which then we're going to share, I guess, the following week, right? Kathy, you'll be able to share with us what you're doing. We're not even going to talk about it. It's going to be a surprise. So
yeah, I'll take pictures of the surprise, and then
I'm excited. I'm excited. Thank
Awesome.
you so much. Hey,
Thanks.
everybody. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.